We're glad to have Ben Judah in our studio today. He's the planning supervisor with Planning and Zoning Department. Thanks so much for coming on and being here today.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're talking about the housing study that's actually going on tomorrow, right? The public meeting for the housing study.
There will be a presentation on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to talk about our comprehensive plan update process as well.
Yeah. Well, let's start. Tell us a little bit about the comprehensive plan, the update.
Sure. Yeah. So the comprehensive plan is it's a legally required per KRS 100. It's an overarching document that kind of guides the vision of how we want Franklin County to grow and be in the next 20 years or so. We have not updated our comp plan from scratch in a while. So we have a consultant helping us update the process. Right now, staff has been kind of leading the charge on what we call the future land use map, which will help with how we want certain areas to develop in certain zones, etc. The future land use map right now, we've gone through a lot of different sections of the county. We'll have another couple meetings coming up. Maybe the end of this month or August, we'll have an advisory committee meeting. We're going to look at a few other areas, wrap that process up in August. September, we'll hopefully have our consultant plan give us some of the meat of the plan itself. We really haven't seen a whole lot yet. We're excited to see some goals and objectives under that. And going back to a little bit more on comp plans themselves, KRS requires a couple different elements. You got a transportation plan, a land use plan, goals and objectives, and then there's other elements that communities can include. Historic preservation, flood regulations, etc. can all be elements in that plan. But we'll hopefully have that process wrapped up closer to the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, and you all started, a couple years ago, right?
It's been a little over a year or so. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a long process, but we want to make sure we get it right. It's not something we really want to rush. It's going to, be something that'll help guide for 20 years. Yeah. So it's nothing really, we want to jump into.
Yeah, it informs, for folks that don't know, it really informs policy that goes on across all the boards, really, in Lake City and county government.
It really does.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And I'm sure those plans can morph and transform as you get later into the years, but it gives you that overall architecture of what
exactly.
you want.
And legally, we do revisit the plans every 5 years and readopt it, and it allows us to tinker and adjust and make changes to the plans as new things and issues arise.
And so there was the housing study that has been going on and completed, last week or 2 weeks ago? Maybe?
Very recently, we did receive that. I actually haven't seen much of it yet. I'm going to go to that presentation and see for it myself.
Yeah. Well, tell me how the housing study impacts the comprehensive plan and how those two things kind of...
Yeah, so they do kind of have some parallels there. I think that when people like me make decisions on recommending like zone changes, for example, it'd be very helpful to have the housing study to rely on and say, oh, we do need this zone to go to whatever zone because the housing study said we need more multifamily or more single family homes or whatever. So yeah, they'll kind of come together in that way.
Mm-hmm. And so tell us a little bit about the public meeting. It's tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, so
they'll be sharing, the consultants will be there.
They're going to be presenting. I'm sure there'll be opportunity for the public to come and view and have questions for the consultant. And I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a good event for everybody who wants to see what's going on with our housing market and to know more about where we stand and what's needed.
Yeah, and so that'll be tomorrow, Tuesday night, July 25th, 5 p.m. I'm pretty sure at FPB Admin Building.
I believe that sounds correct. Yes.
Cool. Anything else you want to kind of share with us about the housing study or comprehensive plan or anything?
So yeah, comp plan. We're gonna be like I said, we'll be wrapping up that future land use mapping. Hopefully, the consultant will be giving us some more meat of that plan, the content itself. September into October, there'll be some public comment opportunity. I encourage people to come out and have their voices heard on that because it'll have an impact on them. and hopefully we'll get that before the Planning Commission for their review and approval come October, and then it'll go on to the City Commission and the Fiscal Court, hopefully by the end of the year for their approval, and we'll get it adopted.
So where should folks, not to interrupt, but
No,
where
yeah,
should
go ahead.
folks kind of go to maybe stay up to date on when those meetings are going to happen? And should they
Yeah,
just
so
kinda-
for the comprehensive plan, we do have a website. It's distilledtogetherky.com, and they can go visit that for updates. We'll hopefully have more information on future meetings that haven't yet to be scheduled
sure,
on there.
yeah.
So.
Sweet.
Yeah, excellent. Ben, before we let you get out of here, do you have any favorite shark content that you love?
Yeah, I know the question of the day you guys had was best shark movie, and I
yeah.
think I'm going to have to be generic and go with Jaws.
I mean, it's hard to beat Jaws.
It's the classic, right?
It's
Like,
classic.
it's hard to beat that. Yep. Ben, Judah, thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming
thanks for
on. It's
having
good
me.
to see you here on our set. I'm used to seeing you in City Hall
At
and
the Planning Commission and the
every
Board of
second,
Adjustments.
every second Thursday.
This is a little bit more
Good to
fun
get
than
you
that.
on the
Yeah,
show.
okay, good.
Yeah.